A silent aircraft rising into the sky shouldn't be possible, yet here it is, defying everything we thought we knew about aviation. At the UAE Airshow 2025, Maxwell's so-called self-powered aircraft didn't just turn heads. It stopped the entire runway. Engineers froze, pilots stared, investors whispered. And somewhere, deep in corporate headquarters, oil executives felt an unfamiliar chill. Because if what Maxwell claims is true, if this aircraft really generates more energy than it consumes, then the world's dependence on fossil fuels isn't just threatened. It's on a countdown. And tonight, we're breaking down exactly why this changes everything. When Maxwell Aerospace rolled their prototype onto the tarmac at the UAE Airshow 2025, the audience didn't quite understand what they were looking at. From a distance, it resembled a sleek, electric aircraft minimalist wings, a composite body, smooth curvature. But up close, everything was off. There were no visible fuel intakes, no standard battery hatches, and no exhaust ports. Instead, a series of embedded panels shimmered like liquid metal, pulsing softly as if the aircraft were alive. Crowds gathered quickly, phones raised, journalists scrambling for angles. The announcer's voice echoed across the runway. Presenting the Maxwell X-12 quantum regeneration aircraft, the words alone sparked confusion and excitement. Then the real moment came. When the aircraft spooled up, it emitted no smoke, no roar, no vibration. Its liftoff was eerily smooth, almost unsettlingly quiet. Spectators gasped. Engineers exchanged looks that swung between awe and disbelief. Aviation veterans murmured that they'd never seen anything like it. And as the aircraft ascended, maintaining perfect stability, a single thought spread across the stands like wildfire. If this works, everything changes. The term self-powered is controversial, often associated with pseudoscience or impossible engineering promises. But Maxwell's interpretation sits in a gray area, an advanced, partially experimental hybrid of known and emerging technologies. According to the company, the aircraft uses a three-tier regeneration system, high-density composite solar layers embedded directly into the fuselage, kinetic reclamation turbines inside the wing roots that harvest airflow and convert it back into electrical energy, a quantum-assisted capacitor bank, the mysterious centerpiece of Maxwell's design, said to drastically reduce energy loss during storage and release. Individually, none of these would power an aircraft indefinitely. But together, Maxwell claims they create a feedback loop one that extends flight duration dramatically while reducing energy consumption close to zero during cruising phases. Critics argue that perpetual energy generation violates fundamental physics. Maxwell insists that they're not claiming perpetual motion, just radical efficiency beyond current expectations. They emphasize that the aircraft still requires an initial energy input for takeoff. But after reaching altitude, the regeneration system supposedly sustains the majority of its operational needs. If even half of this is true, it's not a small improvement. It is a seismic disruption, especially to industries built on selling fuel. Aviation accounts for billions of dollars in annual fuel consumption. Airlines rely heavily on fuel suppliers. Fuel giants rely on those contracts. And the global economic web around petroleum is tightly woven from drilling to refining to distribution. So imagine a world where long-distance flights no longer purchase millions of gallons of jet fuel. A world where airlines operate at a fraction of current costs. A world where energy independence becomes achievable, not just for nations, but for entire industries. That's the world Maxwell hints at. Even if Maxwell's aircraft doesn't fully eliminate fuel usage, the shift in demand alone could reshape the market. Energy analysts already speculate that if this technology scales, oil prices could experience unprecedented volatility. Investors are watching Maxwell's every demonstration. Some are panicking. Others are quietly buying in. And here's the biggest threat. Maxwell claims their system can retrofit existing aircraft. If true, fuel dependency could plummet even faster. Oil companies aren't just facing a new competitor. They're facing a future where one of their biggest revenue streams becomes optional. And when optional becomes obsolete, industries crumble. During the demonstration, Maxwell didn't just show off the aircraft, they tested its capabilities under conditions designed to challenge and impress. First, they performed a vertical acceleration test, where the aircraft climbed at a sharper angle than typical commercial jets. Observers noted how the engines remained nearly silent, with no visible energy strain or vibration. Next came the low-speed glide pass, demonstrating how aerodynamic the design truly was. Even with engines dialed down, the aircraft maintained lift effortlessly. Maxwell hinted that the regeneration turbines were most active during this phase. Then came the boldest moment, the energy disclosure test. Maxwell displayed live telemetry showing net positive energy generation during mid-air cruising. Some spectators applauded. Others questioned the legitimacy of the numbers. But regardless of accuracy, the statement was loud: "We can create more power in flight than we consume." Finally, the aircraft performed a silent landing, rolling to a stop without the roaring deceleration typical of jet engines. Was the demonstration carefully curated? Absolutely. Was it exaggerated? Possibly. But one thing was undeniable: it made people believe that this technology, whether ready or not, could become real. And sometimes belief is the first spark that ignites global change. Not everyone is convinced. Within hours of the demonstration, aviation forums erupted with debates. Engineers pointed out inconsistencies, unusual energy readings, and potential editing in Maxwell's promotional footage. Some claimed the aircraft likely carried hidden batteries. Others argued that quantum capacitors, as described, are not yet manufacturable at that scale. Meanwhile, traditional aerospace companies issued carefully worded statements. They acknowledged Maxwell's creative approach while questioning its practical viability. One executive even remarked, "If they've truly solved energy loss at the quantum level, they haven't just changed aviation, they've redefined physics." Still, skepticism is natural. Revolutionary ideas often appear impossible until they are proven undeniably real. And historically, every major leap from electric cars to reusable rockets was greeted first with laughter, then resistance, then acceptance. But this controversy does something powerful. It keeps Maxwell at the center of global discussion, forces competitors to innovate faster, and pressures old systems to adapt. Whether genius or exaggeration, Maxwell's aircraft has done exactly what disruptive technology must do: force the world to reconsider what is possible. Whether Maxwell's self-powered aircraft becomes the future of aviation or remains an ambitious prototype, one truth is clear: it has already shaken the world. It has pushed engineers to question limits, pushed industries to confront vulnerabilities, and pushed the public to imagine flight without fuel. Big Oil may dismiss it publicly, but behind closed doors the panic is real, because every revolution begins with a prototype. And this one just took flight. The sky is shifting, the rules are bending, and the countdown to a new era has already begun.